day-to-day working cowboys. Ernie Fanning runs a ranch just east of Sparks, Nevada, and happens to be one of the West's most accomplished cowboy poetry writers and reciters. The poems Ernie likes best tell a story he has either lived or can strongly identify with. A story such as his poem, Alone, which tells what it's like to spend the winter months in a lonely cow camp.
It says, have you ever spent a winter in a cow camp all alone? Laid there in your bed at night and heard the cold winds moan? You're cold when you get up and you're cold when you go to bed. You swear to God some morning that you're gonna wake up dead. Now wet and frozen wood is your only means of heat. There's weevils in the flour and there's mold on all the meat. Now you remember another cow camp not so many years ago when the coal oil was almost gone and the grub was getting low. You spent your life in cow camps and most of them are shacks. The wind does 90 miles an hour when she comes whistling through the cracks. As you lay in that old cabin, you can hear the timbers in her groan. And the wind will quit whistling through the cracks. It seems to cry, alone. But you're up again next morning, dressed in your winter togs, stride a snuffy pony, and you're off for riding bogs. Now, as you ride along, you can hear the snapping of the frozen trees, and you feel the strong horse weaken right there between your knees. And you're praying that the boss will make her in today, for you've been out of grain for nigh 3 weeks and you're riding on straight hay. But winter turns on into spring, the grass turns green and all the wild birds sing. Then spring turns into summer and it gets some terrible hot. Them cold days you spent last winter, hell, you've nigh but all forgot. You stick around, make the beef gather in the fall, collect your summer wages and go to town to have a ball. You do a little drinking, take a run at the cards and the dice, and you wind up down at the red light where some little gal treats you kind of nice. And you mother up to her until all your cash is spent. Well, you're really not broke, but you're damn sure badly bent. Then you decide to take a mosey round the town, and as you step beneath the light, you see the snows are coming down. You pull your collar up around your neck, as a wintry wind begins to moan, and you know you're doomed to spend another winter in some cow camp, all alone.
Ernie Fanning was raised in northern Arizona and as a young man heard lots of cowboys tell rhyme stories.
I've heard it all my life, you know. I can remember get-togethers at the house, and they'd sing and play, and somebody would recite, and it's something I grew up with. And as a young kid on the ranches in Arizona, I worked on the ROs and they run a wagon. And those guys all recited in the evening. And it was a kind of a status thing, who knew the most, you know. And I learned a lot of them just from hearing them so many times. You know, when I was going to school was when I learned mine, because I worked in the summer, and the guys that I called men, I mean the guys that I, you know, were my idols, they done it. And that might have been a lot of what got me started doing it.
Good use of words is what makes a good poem, Ernie says, and he talks about how words click for him, just as they did for Robert Service, one of Ernie's favorite poets.
Words. I like words that click. That's an old Robert Service saying. And that's what they do, is they click. It may be one line in the poem that is the part I really like, you know. And I never think about putting one together. I may be going down this road between ranches, and one just comes. And usually, when it comes, it just rolls. I'm a big Robert Service fan, and he hits on this a lot, you know. He calls himself a gentle jingle man, and he is damn sure a poet as far as I was concerned.
Ernie Fanning's poem, The Vanishing Valley, is fast becoming a cowboy poetry classic, and every verse of this poem, as he said earlier, came to him in a single flash of inspiration.
Out on a Nevada mountain, while a-looking for his stock, the cowboy stopped to rest his horse atop a big rim rock. And as he sat and looked at the valley floor below, he asked himself this question: where the hell did the valley go? Whatever happened to fields of spuds and onions the old Dagos used to raise? And where have gone the lush green meadows where fat cattle used to graze? But as he sat and looked down through the smog and the shimmering summer's heat, the question answered itself, for what filled his vision most was mounds of steel and gray concrete. And he knew there was no way to slow, much less halt, the spreading of the buildings and the ribbons of asphalt. Yet he could well remember when every man in that valley helped pull his neighbor's load, and Kitsky Lane was nothing more than a gravel county road. When they drove fat cattle from the Humphrey lots to the shipping pens on Stamford Way. Oh yeah, cowboy, but that was yesterday. Well, the cowboy stepped across his horse and started to the valley floor below. And once more he asked himself a question: why the hell did this valley have to go? And it come just as fast as I recited it.
The series Home Means Nevada presents folk life from the Silver State and is produced by the Nevada State Council on the Arts, Folk Arts Coordinator Blanton Owen, in cooperation with KUNR Reno, KNPR Las Vegas, and KOLO Reno, with funding from the National Endowment for the Arts Folk Arts Program and the state of Nevada. This is Deb Spring.